Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to decode the abstract magic of modern web application architecture by looking at something we all absolutely love, ordering food. If you've ever wondered how modern apps keep track of every little thing you do without crashing or losing your data, well, you're in exactly the right place.
Take a look at the screen. This is basically a hand-drawn treasure map, outlining the exact continuous journey your data takes when you interact with an application. It might look a little technical at first glance, with all the boxes and arrows, but what you're really looking at is the elegant, secret blueprint that powers almost every major app you use on a daily basis. So here's the big practical question we're tackling today. When you click Add on your favorite biryani, how does the shopping cart at the very top of the screen actually know to update itself? I mean, it feels instant to us, but underneath, there's this incredibly organized process happening. We're going to answer this exact question by following a single click on its journey through the entire system and back again. To make perfect sense of this cycle, we've broken the flow down into 4 structured steps. 1. The food app interface. 2. Dispatching and action. 3. Inside the Redux store. And 4. Selecting and updating.
Section 1. The food app interface, where the journey begins.
Picture this. You're browsing a restaurant app on your phone, specifically scoping out the menu for Meghna Biryani. You're starving, you're scrolling, and you are ready to order. Notice how brilliantly simple this user interface is laid out. You've got just a logo situated up at the top left to tell you where you are, your shopping cart icon waiting patiently at the top right, and the menu items right there featuring their own dedicated add buttons. It's clean, it's super familiar, but the thing is, it's completely static right up until you take action. Which brings us to Section 2, Dispatching and Action, the click that starts it all. The exact millisecond you decide you want that biryani and hit Add, you kick off an invisible chain reaction. Hitting Add triggers what developers call a dispatch, and this dispatch effectively flings into action, which is labeled here with a clear A, right across the chasm, from the visible user interface over into the hitting backend logic. So the crucial point here is that the dispatch is basically your messenger. It's taking your very real human desire for biryani and translating it into a formal, structured action that the application's data management system can actually read and process. It's literally the bridge between what you want and how the app computes it. Moving on to Section 3, Inside the Redux store, the engine room. Now our messenger is traveling right deep into the architecture, bringing us to the heart of the system. Before it hits the main storage, action A arrives from the UI and is immediately caught by a function, labeled as fn. This is the reducer. Think of the reducer as a really smart manager. It looks at your action, figures out exactly what to do with your order, mathematically updates the count, and only then allows that process data to officially enter the main Redux store. And I love this because it perfectly illustrates the inside of the Redux store itself. It's not just some messy junk drawer of data, right? It's perfectly organized into distinct separated boxes. You have a compartment for the cart holding current order data, a separate user compartment for account data, and a generic slice for other elements. Everything has its specific place. Since you ordered food, the reducer is smart enough to bypass the user and slice boxes entirely. It aims straight for the cart box to securely update your order status inside the Redux store. This isolation is absolutely key. It means adding food to your cart will literally never accidentally alter your safe shipping address or suddenly log you out. Finally, Section 4, Selecting and Updating, closing the loop. The store now securely holds the new data. It knows you ordered the biryani, but your screen doesn't show it yet. So let's complete our loop. This final step is the job of the selector. By explicitly subscribing to the store, the selector acts as a dedicated lookout. It's actively standing by, just waiting and watching for that specific cart box to change its contents. The very second the cart updates in the store, the selector detects it. It grabs that fresh data and rockets it all the way back to the left side of our map, injecting it right into the cart icon at the top of your screen. Suddenly, that little number by the cart ticks up to 1, and you know for sure your order has been received. So, pulling back to look at the whole map again, you can truly appreciate the elegance of this unidirectional flow. It always travels in one predictable direction, from the Add button through the dispatch messenger, carefully handled by the reducer, safely deposited into the store, and finally grabbed by the selector to update the UI cart. It's a one-way street that keeps applications stable, predictable, and virtually bug-free.
I want to leave you with this final thought. If this entire flawless loop runs just for one single plate of Meghna biryani, can you imagine the sheer volume of traffic flowing through the Redux store of a massive global app with millions of users? It really puts into perspective how powerful this architecture is, perfectly managing data in an endless, organized loop every single time a user clicks. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep looking for the brilliant structures hidden just beneath the surface of your favorite apps.